Hey guys, Tanya Cardwell here from Pavlov Dog Training. Public service announcement I want to make is if you are struggling at all with your dog pulling on lead, I want you to consider retiring your body harness. It doesn't matter if that harness is clipped in the front, back, or if it is marketed as a no-pull harness. Now, important information I want to share with you is in the world of dog sports, anytime our objective is to teach your dog to pull on lead, we will intentionally put your dog on a body harness. Now, I'm going to give you several examples just so you can visualize what I am talking about. Let's say that you want to train your dog to pull a sled. Maybe you have a husky or malamute and you want to use your husky's core center of gravity as leverage to maximize how much weight he can pull. In that situation, we would take your dog off of a neck collar and we would put him on a harness. Now, let's say that you want to try out protection sports. Maybe you have a German Shepherd or a Malinois and you want to encourage him to bark and lunge and be melodramatic and harass the pseudo bad guy, the decoy. So if that's the case, we will usually take your dog off of the neck collar and we'll put him on a body harness. Now, maybe you want to train your dog to be a cadaver dog. Maybe you want to train your dog to sniff out missing person. Maybe he's a bloodhound or a beagle or whatever. I know there are all kinds of dogs training that aren't even hounds these days to be a search and rescue dog. If that's the case, your objective is to empower your dog to find a scent and follow the scent. Tunnel vision. Nothing else matters, right? You just want him to pick up on it and zone out. There's a leash involved and you're at the end of it, but the only reason why you're at the end of the leash is so that when your dog inevitably gets to the missing person, you're still there with your dog. Your dog isn't 6 miles away in the forest north of you, right? So in that situation, a harness is super helpful because it empowers your dog to pull. Now, another example, and by the way, I could go on for a very long time, but I want to keep this video relatively short. Let's just say you take a fancy for weight pull sports. This is a type of sport that's really popular with gladiator breeds, bully breeds, your big, like beefy muscle breeds, right? It's kind of like the weightlifting competition, but rather than for humans, it's for dogs. So in that situation, what you do is you'd have a cart and you'd load it up with bricks or sandbags, some kind of weight, and you compete with your dog pulling all that weight. So it's actually a fairly intriguing dog sport, I must confess, because the dog, you just really see these dogs like really getting into it. They're really using their weight as leverage. There's a lot of grit and a lot of flexing, and it's actually kind of this, I don't know, kind of this blue collary working class kind of somewhat exotic dog sport. I don't know. I just know it from YouTube. You can hit it up on YouTube if you're curious. But anyway, do they use a neck collar? Do they use a slip lead? Do they use a pinch collar? Do they use a neck collar? None of the above. They use a body harness, right? Because they want physics to be their friend. So the reoccurring theme with all these dog sports is if you want your dog to pull you on lead, bust out the body harness. But if you're teaching your dog to walk politely, mannerly, and not pull you on lead, I want you to choose some kind of tool that leads from high above on the neck. So we can teach your dog pressure right, the head goes right. Pressure left, the head goes left. And where your dog's head goes, the body organically follows suit. Not unlike when you're riding a horse and you have 1,300 pounds of horse to guide. You have your reins, you give pressure right, the head goes right, body goes right. pressure left, the head goes left, body goes left. So with subtle amounts of pressure and release, you can seamlessly communicate with 1,300 pounds worth of body. Similar concept for dog training. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you have any questions, reach out. And really, if anyone has made it this far, send a comment, interact in some way, just so I know I'm not talking to my Android phone. Okay. I appreciate someone out there, whoever makes it this far. Thanks a lot and have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Ciao.